Hey guys, it's Leah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Bookmas Day 9. Today's video I'm absolutely terrified for because we are going to be going through every single book on my physical TBR. Do I know how many books are on my physical TBR? No, I have a rough estimate. On my Goodreads it says I have 119, but I will say that I haven't updated that in months, so there are definitely books that I've acquired more recently that aren't on there, so it's going to be above that. I'm absolutely terrified. So yeah, I thought it would just be fun, more so for you than for me, to go through my entire physical TBR, and then at the end of 2024, which is insane to think about, I will react to this video and we will see how many that I read, how many I DNF'd, how many I unhauled even. So let's just get started because we're going to be here for a while. Okay, so we're going to start with this bookshelf in my room. This bookshelf includes my poetry books, my classic books, my modern classic books. We have a bit of an array of everything. So this is my poetry shelf. I have read a bunch of these, but there are definitely loads on here that I haven't read yet. I've read the first couple of these other than this one. I am so excited to get into Anna's poetry. I've heard the most incredible things. I don't know why I said Anna like we're on first name basis. I've heard really good things about this, so this is a collection that I definitely want to read soon. So that is the first one on my physical TBR. We then have Sylvia Plath's collected poems. I have read Ariel by Sylvia Plath, which I do also own, but I am very excited to get into this bigger collection from her. So that is number 2. I feel like I'm really gonna lose count when I count all of these. Number 3 and 4 are these two poetry collections. We have this one, which is The Ink Dark Moon. This cover, I absolutely am obsessed with these editions. And then we also have this one, which is William Shakespeare's sonnets. I haven't read William Shakespeare in so long, so I'm very excited to read these. All of these books I have read, they are books that I annotated and studied for uni. I am currently reading Mystical Poems of Rumi. I've been reading this since August 2022. And it's still on my currently reading shelf. I need to finish it because it's been there for way too long. We then have another collection of Rumi poetry, Rumi, The Book of Love. I haven't read, so that is number 5. Number 6 is A Year with Rilke. I am so excited to start this in the new year. You basically literally just get a Rilke poem for every single day of the year. Number 7 is this poetry collection called Profit and Loss by Leontia Flynn. I have read all of the T.S. Eliot that I own. I love T.S. Eliot so much. Okay, and there's 4 more poetry collections on here that I haven't read yet. First one being Bad Diaspora Poems by Momtaza Miri. We have The Cat Prince and Other Poems by Michael Pedersen, More Fire by Kayo Shingoni, and The Poetry Pharmacy Forever by William Sieghart. So this shelf already makes it a grand total of 11. I have 11 poetry collections that I haven't read yet, which is actually really good. I'm really happy with that number. I'm very excited to read these. And then coming down one, we have my Penguin Classics. So we have my Black Penguin Classics, Modern Classics, and Penguin Cloth-Bound Classic. I have read most of these, which makes me so happy, but there are definitely some yet that I haven't gotten to. So the ones that I haven't gotten to yet, I have never read Macbeth by Shakespeare. I absolutely want to rectify that. I feel like I will love it when I get to it. That is number 12. Number 13, we then have, oh my god, okay, Persuasion by Jane Austen. I have never read a Jane Austen before, also need to rectify that. Number 14 is Joseph Conrad's Typhoon and Other Stories. Number 15, we have Perfume by Patrick Suskind, another one that I am so excited to read. I will absolutely be reading this in 2024. Number 16, we have the next Clarice Lispector that I need to read, which is The Besieged City, and number 17 is Hour of the Star by Clarice Lispector, which I will not be getting to for quite some time. Number 18 is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, another one that I will definitely be reading in 2024. I've already forgotten what number we are on. I'm gonna have to recount. Give me one sec. Oh my god, I can't count. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 is Anais Nin's Little Birds, and number 20 is Jean Rhys's Wide Sargasso Sea. I also remember that I didn't even include Pride and Prejudice. I also have that one. So 21 is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And then all of the Penguin Cloth-Bound Classics I have read other than these 2 little ones, one of them being Bonjour Triste. My French accent is not French accenting, but Bonjour Triste by Françoise Sagan. And then we also have The Prophet by Cahill Gibran. These 2 I'm also really excited to read. So that shelf makes it a grand total of 23 books. Now we're going on to my favourite shelf ever. I literally, half of this shelf is my favourite shelf ever. The other half is just where I pile a bunch of books and just never touch them for like 2 months. So one half of the shelf is going to do me well for this video. The other half, I'm kind of scared. But this shelf is my The Secret History shelf, and then here we just have a bunch of random books. So obviously The Secret History I have read before, it's one of my favorites. So kicking off here, we have 2 copies of The Goldfinch right in the corner. I haven't read that yet, so I'm just going to count that as 1. So that's 24. I also haven't read The Little Friend by Donna Tartt yet, so that is 25. And then this stack, I'm kind of terrified because I don't even know what's here. Oh gosh, okay, 26, we have Wandering Souls by Cecile Pin, another one I'm going to read soon. This one doesn't count, this is my boyfriend's book. I've read that one. 27, Like a Charm by Kerry Barrett. Oh my god, 28, okay, there's so many here I haven't read. 28, My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Those 2 books that I just took away are ones that I actually needed to unhaul, so we're not going to count them. We have All's Well by Mona Awad. I have read this one. Oh gosh, okay, 29, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I haven't read yet. 30, we have Sword Catcher by Cassandra Clare, and then 31, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Okay, so we're currently on 31 and we are 3 shelves down. I'm scared. Next we are on this shelf, and I haven't read so many of these, which is fun. I've yet to read Sexing the Cherry by Jeanette Winterson, so that was, oh my god, I've lost count again. Fuck, am I gonna have to recount? Jesus Christ. This one is number 32. Number 33, The Great Gatsby. I still cannot believe I haven't read this. I absolutely, again, need to rectify that. We then have a bunch of Angela Carter. 34 is going to be Book of Wayward Girls and Wicked Women. Burning Your Boats Collected Stories is 35. I have read The Passion of New Eve. I loved it. And then we have this gorgeous collection of Angela Carter stories, which is going to be 36. 37 is going to be Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. 38, The Four Agreements. 39, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. 40 is The Dead Poets Society. The Bluest Eye I'm currently reading, so I'm not going to count that. And then these 2, one is my boyfriend's, one is like a music album, so that doesn't count. So on this shelf we have finished with 40, and then this last shelf is a little bit random. This side is like my Bronte books, this side are just like my nicer books. So the Bronte books, there are a couple I haven't read yet. I haven't read these 3, so that makes up 43. Agnes Grey I'm not going to count because it's here. Villette I'm not going to count because it's here. These 2 are both Jane Eyre. That one I'm not going to count because it is like a coffee table book. It's not a novel at all. This one is The Great Gatsby, and obviously we've already counted that, and that one is Jane Eyre, which I have already read. So that leaves a grand total of 43 from this entire bookshelf. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of stunned that out of 1 shelf I haven't read 43 of these books. But that does mean that now we're gonna have to go into the living room to my 2 other bookshelves where there are gonna be probably triple this number, and I don't think I'm quite prepared. Let's go, wish me luck. Okay, so now that we have done the bookshelf in my bedroom, we are into the living room with the main kind of attraction, you will say, and I'm terrified. I know that there are so many books on here that I haven't read yet, and knowing that there were 43 on the other one, when I thought there were probably like 20, I really should not have done this video. Okay, we're gonna get straight to it, otherwise I'm gonna procrastinate and we will never find out. So let's go. So starting with the bookshelf from the left, we have this shelf, which are all of my horror books, my thriller books. I've read a lot of these, but a lot I also haven't. So the first one that I haven't read is Eyes, Guts, Throat Bones by Miura Fowley, and that makes 44. I'm still really excited to read this. 45 is A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. 46, we have Murder at Holly House by Denzel Mayrick. This is a Christmas thriller that I definitely want to read this year. 47, we have They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. 48, The Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. 49 is Looking Glass Sound by Katrina Ward. And then the last one on this shelf, I don't know if you can see it, but it is The Guest by Emma Cline. That makes it number 50. I guarantee you that I am saying the wrong numbers every time I'm counting, and then it's going to be so confusing in this video. If that is the case, I'm so sorry. Going into 51 with Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. I loved My Heart is a Chainsaw, which is the first in this series, but I do need to reread that before going into this one, but I'm still so excited for it. I would say 52 is Madame by Phoebe Wynn, but I actually think I'm gonna unhaul it. It's one that I've been umming and ahhing about so much. I've had it for years and I haven't even read it, so yeah, we're gonna unhaul that one. 52 in that case is Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. 53 is The Millhouse Murders by Yukito Ayatsuji. 54 is The Memory of Animals by Claire Fuller. Leech by Hiron Ends is 55. 56 and 57 we have 2 Ashley Winstead books. We have Midnight is the Darkest Hour and The Last Housewife. I'm very excited for both of these. 58 is Murder in the Family by Cara Hunter. 59 is Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. And then 60 is The Haunting Season, which is an anthology of ghost stories. From this shelf, I have not read Disturbance by Jenna Clay, nor have I read The Ferryman by Justin Cronin. I'm really excited for this, but it is absolutely huge. We then have The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I still cannot believe I haven't read this yet. Human Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, another one that I cannot believe I have not read yet. If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffery. Land of Milk and Honey by C. Pam Zaho. Docile by K.M. Zapara. I'm really excited for this one still. After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I am actually going to unhaul that one too, so that one's going to go. Power by Naomi Alderman, I still haven't read. And the last one on this shelf is Tokyo Express by Saicho Matsumoto. And then we go down to my fantasy books, and this is where it gets real. These are the bulk of my fantasy hardback books. I haven't read a lot of these, so this is going to be fun. Starting with Never by Jessa Hastings. This is number 70. Modern Divination is one of the books I am most excited to read in 2024. Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. This one is The Hurricane Wars. I absolutely love this edition. This is the Fairy edition. I've heard great things about this, so I'm excited to read it. We then have the first 2 books in the Atlas 6 series. I haven't read either of these still. I literally don't know how. Masters of Death, also by Olivia Blake, I have yet to read. This one is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I've already counted that for one of the other copies I have in my room, so we're not going to count this one. We have the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. This isn't even the full series. Books 1 and 3. I need to get book 2, but I haven't read either of these yet. This is really annoying. It's not with the other Olivia Blake books, but Alone with You in the Ether I also haven't read. Let's just pop that one there. Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong I haven't read yet. And then these 4 books here I have read. So this shelf, I'm going to count them. I've decided I'm going to stop telling you guys what number each book is, just so we can build a little bit of suspense. Take your guesses now how many you think I'm going to end up with by the end. We're currently sitting on 80-ish. Oh my god. This is another one of my fantasy shelves, so we're kicking that off with This Spells Love. I have not read yet. Also Signs of Cupidity by Raven Kennedy. The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. Slewfoot by Brom. Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I haven't read yet, but another one that I'm definitely going to read very early on in 2024. A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. These 3 are all above here too, so I'm not going to count those. We then have Now She Is Witch by Kirsty Logan. I haven't read yet. Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I also still haven't read yet. I literally don't understand how. I have read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I've read Fishers. I've read Gallant. I have not read This Savage Song by V. Schwab, and I have 2 copies of that, and also the sequel Our Dark Duet I have not read. And the last one on here is The Poppy War. Definitely have not read this yet, but I'm very excited to. We then have my young adult shelf, which has very much capsized, so please ignore that. 2 from here that I have not read yet, and I don't know if I ever will at this point, but I'm going to count them anyway for now, is Emergency Contact and Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. I really liked Yolk, so I'm hoping that I do get around to them one day, but right now I just never reach for them. From here we also have The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and the only other one that I haven't read on here yet is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw. And then I'm actually not even going to look at or count the bottom shelf, because these books here are all books that I am just going to unhaul, so there are literally no point. Okay, so based from this shelf, we are not yet in the triple digits. Extremely close, we absolutely will be from the first shelf. Now we are going on to the last bookshelf. Oh my god, I just realized that I also have a stack of books in my room that I didn't count. Oh my god, this is a problem, but we're going to start with this one first. So whew. Starting with this shelf is my like literary fiction, just normal adult fiction. There are definitely some on here that I have not read yet. Kicking that off with 2 Tessa Moshfeghs. We have Death in Her Hands and Homesick for Another World. We have Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? A Helping Hand by Celia Dale. To be honest, this is more like thriller crime, so it should be on the other shelf, but I haven't read this one yet. We also have Pod by Leyline Paul, and we have Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris. We then have Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. We have another Maggie O'Farrell. I still cannot believe I haven't read this one. Everyone recommends it to me. Dare I say 2024 will finally be the year. We then have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I honestly think at this point this is the book that I've had on my shelf for the longest that I still haven't read. I literally don't know why I haven't but this one I haven't read yet. Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Red Dust, White Snow by Pan Huting. Death Valley by Melissa Broder. I'm so excited to read this. For this shelf on this side we have my translated fiction, and then on this side we just have some more fiction that couldn't really fit up there. I feel like this shelf, to be honest, I have read the most of, which is good. Thank God for that. But ones that I haven't read on here yet, the first one is going to be the Penguin book of Korean short stories. I haven't read this yet. It's beautiful. I really want to, but it's massive. We also then have two Sayaka Murata. These two are both two books that I want to read in 2024. We have Live Ceremony and Earthlings. We then have Delegate Dream Department Store, another one that I want to read in 2024. I have heard really good things about this one. We also have A Little Luck by Claudia Pinheiro, another one that is on my TBR for 2024. One of my most excited, anticipated reads. And then here we have two Murakami books that I have yet to read. These two are both Kafka on the Shore, so I'm going to count that one once. I also haven't read Blind Willow Sleeping Woman yet, so we have two Murakamis that I haven't read. And then here we have read the majority of these other than Ripe by Sarah Rose Etta, and also Mild Vertigo by Miku Kanai. Coming down we then have my romance books. Again, these I have read a lot of, but definitely some that I haven't. First of all, we have You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I'm really excited to read this, but it's one that I want to wait for autumn for, and I didn't get around to it this year, so hopefully I will read it in the first half of the year before summer. If not, it will be an autumn book next year. Oh wait, these are out of order, but I have read the first two Magnolia Parks books. But I have yet to read Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home and Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. Carrying on, I have yet to read this series, so that is Consider Me, Play With Me and Unravel Me by Becca Mack. Three books I haven't read there, and then I think the last one on here that I haven't read yet is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I absolutely love Mariana Zapata, so I'm very excited for this. Going down once more, I am terrified for this shelf because this shelf is kind of reserved for arcs, for proofs. So obviously there's a lot on here that I haven't read yet. And we would start that off with Immortal Longings, but I've already obviously included that with the finished copy. But I haven't read Carla by Colin Walsh. I want to read this, I think still. I've heard really good things about it, but it is massive, so I don't know when I will get to it. We have Chlorine by Jade Song. I literally read half of this book and just never picked it up again, but it is one that I want to try and read again because I feel like I will carry on loving it. We have Wednesday's Child by Yeon Lee. This is one of the most beautiful covers I have ever seen. We have Crooked Plow by Itamar Vieira Jr. Spirits Abroad by Zen Cho. The Celebi Code by Johnny Sweet. The Fragile Threads of Power by V. Schwab. I still cannot believe I haven't read this. I was so excited to get my hands on it, but I just never got round to it. I'm still really excited to though. Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. This is, I believe, actually the prequel to Legends and Lattes. I'm very excited to read. Nightwood by Juna Barnes, another one that I'm really excited to read. Older by Eva Baltasar. The Tatami Galaxy by Tomohiko Marimi. Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I'm really intrigued about this one. I've only heard good things. These next couple of ones are all proofs that are coming out in 2024 that I'm very excited about. Kicking that off with The Beholders by Hester Musson. We have Bad Habit by Alana S. Patiro. Hagstone by Sinead Gleason. Blue Sisters by Coco Mellows. I'm really excited for this. Coco Mellows is the author of Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I've also just realized you literally cannot see any of these covers. I'm going to move this light slightly. We have Butter by Izako Yuzaki, another one that I'm so excited about for the new year. The Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal, another one that I feel like is going to be one of the most biggest anticipated releases of 2024. I'm so excited for it. One of my most anticipated releases of 2024, the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. The last proof that we have here is The Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder by C.L. Miller. And then lastly on here, it's not a proof, it's a romance. I don't really know why it's on this shelf, but that is Bryn and Sebastian Hate Each Other by Bethany Turner. And then the last shelf that we are doing for this shelf, because the bottom one again is full of books that I'm either unhauling or I have already read or don't really count towards my physical TBR. We'll start on this side. We have the first three books in The Girl from the Other Side manga. I really love this series. I have read all of them. We have the first 4 volumes of the Death Note Black Editions I have read all of those. I have read Gaio. I haven't read Tomi or Uzumaki yet. I'm really excited to though. Have read Remina, have read Smashed, have not read Frankenstein or by Junji Ito yet. I'm really excited to read that one too. And then I've also read these last two Junji Itos, which are Tombs and Lovesickness. We then have some graphic novels that were very kindly sent to me. I haven't read any of them yet, but I am still really excited to. I just don't really reach for them, so I don't know when I'll get to them. The first one is A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. This is just the manga edition. We have Starman, and this is... I love Bowie's music so much. This is by Reinhard Kleist. Very excited for this one. We have Call Me Nathan. This one is by Catherine Castro. We then have No Surrender. This one is by a multitude of people, but I'm very, very excited for this. It looks so good. We have Volume 1 of Sophie's World by Vincent Zabis and Nickaby. And then we have this huge, beautiful book of The Forgotten Painter by Thomas Gertin. I am very excited about this. And then we have this last tiny section of romances. To be honest, that is kind of double stacked. I just have a lot of my Christmas romances other than Happy Place, which I have obviously read. I loved it. But ones that I haven't read are One December Day by Rachel Marks, The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman, The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead, The Long Game by Eleanor Armas, Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. But to be honest, after reading Window Shopping, you will see it in a vlog soon. I might have to unhaul this. And then the last one on here is The Christmas Swap by Talia Samuels that I have not read yet at the time of filming this, but these two I have read. Okay, we are back in my room, and as I said, I remembered that I have a little floor stack in my room, because why wouldn't I? There's books everywhere. So these ones include, oh my god, there are so many. We Spread by Ian Reid. I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to. Edenville by Sam Rebelline. Always Take Notes, advice from some of the world's greatest writers, and then it's like an anthology. I haven't read that. Shot with Crimson by Nicola Upson. If We Were Villains by ML Rio. I will be getting to it, I promise. The Hotel by Louise Mumford. The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brianne Randall. And then we have The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis. Oh my god, those are all of the books that I own that I haven't read yet. I don't know if I'm relieved or I'm overwhelmed. Let's count them. Okay, so we're back where we started. I'm so out of breath. Oh my god, that was so much. And before I tell you how many books are on my physical unread TBR, take a wild guess. It's definitely more than I thought it was when we started the video. But I'm not gonna lie, actually, I don't even think it's that bad. Like, I did think it was gonna be bad, and I do want my goal for the end of 2024 for my TBR to be kind of like below 100 if I can. That is gonna be one of my biggest goals for next year. Now knowing though how many I have to read does kind of make it a little bit more difficult and a little bit more overwhelming. But okay, the grand total, I have 166 books on my physical TBR. I don't know whether to feel relieved or... Actually, no. Why would I feel relieved? I actually feel fairly overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. There are 166 books on my physical TBR. But oh my god, that just shows that I really am gonna go on a book buying ban in the new year, because I am overwhelmed. I'm gonna fight for my life to make sure that it doesn't go over 200. But it hasn't been Christmas yet. My birthday is in the first half of the year. I'm also a bookseller, so I get incredible discount. It's definitely gonna go over 200, oh my god. Okay, but there are 166 books on my physical TBR. That's okay, it could be worse, right? But I hope you enjoyed it and that you enjoyed Bookmas Day 9. If you have read any of the books that are on my extensive physical TBR and you think that I need to prioritize, I need to get to ASAP, or ones that you didn't like, please make me either get rid of or read some of these books. No matter how you do that, please let me know if you've read any of them. I would love to hear. Also, let me know if any of them are on your TBR, or if you watched until the very end of the video and you want to show you were here but you don't really know what to comment. Comment the cup of coffee emoji, because I sense I'm gonna need a shit ton of caffeine to get through all of these books. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching and for being here. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more Bookmas content from me, I still have a couple more coming this month and I'm so excited for them still. And you are not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It would mean so much to have you here. Also, don't forget to leave this video a massive thumbs up. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and for spending some time with me, and I will see you again very, very soon for Bookmas Day 10.